Hello everyone, this is Rupesh. Today I'll be continuing with the addition reactions. Coming to orientation and reactivity. The reactivity of a substrate depends upon the inherent characteristics of a molecule. In electrophilic addition reaction, the carbon-carbon double bond may be attached to either electron withdrawing group or electron donating groups. Coming to the case 1, that is electron withdrawing group. Electron withdrawing group shows negative inductive effect. Therefore, the groups draw electrons towards themselves. Therefore, the electron density on pi bond is low and electrophile can't attack the carbon-carbon double bond. Whereas coming to the case 2, that is electron donating group attached to an carbon-carbon double bond. Electron donating group shows positive inductive effect. These groups increases the electron density on the pi bond. Therefore, electrophilic attack is more feasible on the carbon-carbon double bond. Even experimental proofs was obtained from the bromination of olefins in methanol. All the above are the examples of an electrophilic additions to carbon-carbon multiple bonds. In case of nucleophilic addition reaction, the situation is exactly reversed when compared to an electrophilic addition reaction. Here, nucleophilic attack is enhanced in case 1. That is, nucleophilic attack is enhanced when it is attached to an electron withdrawing group, and nucleophilic attack is lower in case 2, that is it is lower when it is attached to an electron donating group. This fact is most widely used in the Diels-Alder cycloaddition reaction. That is, this is a pentadiene. Generally it is called a diene. This is dienophile. These two reacts, that is 4 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction. To be specific, it is a Diels-Alder reaction. We get a cyclic product, that is tetrafluoronorbornene. Coming to the second example, diene reacts with dienophile, that is 4 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction. We get a cycloadduct. This is a pentadiene. This is a maleic anhydride. In all the above cases, the reactivity is very high because the diene is electron rich. This is a diene, whereas the dienophile is electron deficient. This is a dienophile which is electron deficient. Therefore, 4 carbon center sits on the 2 carbon center to form the cycloadduct. This is the 4 carbon center and this is the 2 carbon center. This 4 carbon center sits on 2 carbon to form a cycloadduct. Then in all the above cases, the stereochemistry is fixed. That is, the orientation of the reaction is very well determined. Coming to addition to cyclopropane ring. The carbon-carbon bonds in cyclopropane are bent. These bent sigma bonds are also called as banana bond because the sigma electrons resemble banana. These bent bonds are intermediate in character between sigma and pi bonds. Therefore, cyclopropane in some aspects behave like double bond compounds. Then this banana bond make the cyclopropane ring to become highly reactive, provided with an opportunity that the cyclopropane releases its ring strain. As we all know, there is a cyclopropane ring which is a highly strained molecule. It always ready to relieve its strain. Coming to example 1, this is a cyclopropane. On heating, we get an propene. This is isomerized to relative strain. This is a strained molecule. There is a less strain. There is no strain in this molecule. It is isomerized because this double bond attacks this carbon. With the proton shift, we get the same cyclopropane molecule. That is, as I said, cyclopropane on heating releases its ring strain to form propene. This is an isomerization reaction. Coming to the second example, cyclopropane on hydrogenation, that is reacts with hydrogen in the presence of nickel catalyst to form a propane. Coming to the third example, cyclopropane reacts with bromine to form 1,3-dibromopropane. The same as the bromine, the cyclopropane reacts with HBr to form an bromopropane. That is the mechanism I have shown here. This bond attacks, that is as I said before, cyclopropane which is bent acts as a double bond sometimes. Therefore, this bond takes a proton from HBr and the bromide ion releases to form an carbocation. This bromide attacks the carbocation to form an bromopropane. Coming to hydrogenation reaction, addition of molecular hydrogen to multiple bonds. That is carbon-carbon triple bond on hydrogenation, that is on reaction with hydrogen in the presence of catalyst to form an alkane. The general sequence may be written as below, that is triple bond on reaction with molecular hydrogen in the presence of catalyst. First it gets reduced to a double bond, and then with the consumption of one more equivalent of hydrogen in the presence of catalyst, it gets converted to alkane. In hydrogenation reaction, there is two types, that is homogeneous hydrogenation reaction, that is in that the reactant products and catalyst are in a single phase. Coming to heterogeneous hydrogenation reaction, here substrate catalyst are in two or more phases, that is it may be in solid, liquid or gas. In most heterogeneous addition reaction, the addition is always a cis. Coming to example, that is cyclohexene on reacting with hydrogen in the presence of a platinum catalyst at room temperature, we get a cyclohexane. Here dimethyl cyclohexane on reacting with molecular hydrogen, the same catalyst, that is platinum at room temperature, we get an cis isomer. These both are cis isomer. Coming to the third example, tetramethyl ethylene reacts with molecular hydrogen in the presence of a catalyst to form an alkane, that is it's an alkane. Coming to the mechanism, this double bond, that is tetramethyl ethylene reacts with hydrogen, that is at beginning this hydrogen reacts with the catalyst, catalyst to form this one. This reacts with a double bond to form this corresponding compound, that is this hydrogen molecule gets attached to the surface of the catalyst, and in the next step one hydrogen is transferred to this carbon with the breakage of one double bond to single bond to form this one. In the subsequent step, the other hydrogen bond is transferred from the surface of the catalyst to this carbon with the breakage of this bond to form an reduced product with the elimination of a catalyst, that is the catalyst can be recovered. Coming to the fourth example, that is the same E reacts with hydrogen, molecular hydrogen in the presence of a catalyst to form an decalane. This is a decalane molecule. There is a cis decalane, there is a trans decalane. In this case, the cis decalane is less stable. This is very less stable compared to a trans decalane. The ratio of cis to decalane is 1:6. More amount of trans decalane is formed because of isomerization in the second step of hydrogen transfer. Coming to hydrogenation of aromatic rings. Reduction of aromatic rings by catalytic hydrogenation is more difficult than reduction of carbon-carbon multiple bonds. The most common catalysts used are platinum or rhodium metal and at ordinary temperature. Rhenenickel or ruthenium may be used at high temperature and pressure. Among platinum and ruthenium, the most widely used is platinum in the form of platinum oxide, that is PT2O, which is also called as Adams catalyst. When Adams catalyst comes in contact with hydrogen, it forms a fine dispersion of platinum. This platinum metal has high surface area, as I said before, the catalyst which have high surface area which helps in the reduction. That is, coming to the examples, benzene reacts with Adams catalyst in the presence of hydrogen in acetic acid at room temperature. We get a cyclohexane, that is all the double bonds are reduced to a single bond. Coming to the second example, benzoic acid reacts with molecular hydrogen and acetic acid in the presence of an Adams catalyst in room temperature. We get cyclohexanoic acid. Even all the double bonds are reduced here. Even the phenol to cyclohexanol and aniline to cyclohexamine. You can see here only double bonds are getting reduced, but not the functional groups like carboxylic acid and alcohol. Note, in all the manufacturing processes, the most common catalyst used is Rhenenickel at 150 to 200 degrees Celsius and around 100 to 200 atmospheric pressure. This is because just the Rhenenickel is very cheap. Coming to the fifth example, naphthalene reacts with Rhenenickel, reacts with molecular hydrogen in the presence of a Rhenenickel at 180 degrees Celsius. We get an tetraline. There is a tetraline molecule. Continuing with the third equivalent of hydrogen, we get an transdecaline. That is, one equivalent of hydrogen is reduces this double bond. The second equivalent reduces this double bond to form a tetraline. This, on continuing with the third equivalent of hydrogen, all this double bond gets reduced. Coming to the sixth one, there is an anthracene. Anthracene reacts with hydrogen in the presence of Rhenenickel at 180 degrees Celsius. We get an 9-10. This is a 9%, this is a 10%, 9-10 dihydroanthracene. This tetraline is also called as tetrahydronaphthalene. Coming to homogeneous hydrogenation reaction, the reactant, the products and the catalyst are in a single phase, that is in a liquid. The most important catalyst used are homogeneous catalytic hydrogenation. Used for homogeneous catalytic hydrogenation is Wilkinson's catalyst. This is the structure of an Wilkinson's catalyst. That is, this is tris-triphenyl phosphorus rhodium chloride. That is tris-triphenyl phosphorus rhodium chloride. Using this catalyst, it is found that all hydrogenations takes place through cis addition. All homogeneous catalytic hydrogenation are much faster in rate when compared to hydrogenation when compared to heterogeneous catalyst. Coming to this one, this double bond gets reduced. Only this double bond gets reduced using molecular hydrogen in the presence of a Wilkinson's catalyst in benzene. Sorry, this is benzene. We get a corresponding alkane. That is, only this double bond gets reduced. Why? Because a less sterically hindered double bond gets reduced, whereas this double bond is a highly sterically hindered, whereas this is a less sterically hindered double bond gets reduced. Coming to this molecule, whereas having two functional groups like alkene and nitro group, it gets converted to an corresponding alkane, but nitro group doesn't reduce to corresponding amine. Wilkinson's catalyst is highly chemoselective in reducing carbon-carbon double bond. That is, Wilkinson's catalyst just reduces the carbon-carbon multiple bonds, but not the other functional groups like carboxylic acid and nitro. Coming to the mechanism, this is a Wilkinson's catalyst reacting with hydrogen. One, one molecule of phosphorus, the triphenyl phosphorus is eliminated, PPH3 is eliminated to form this compound. This on insertion with the double bond, we get this one. That is one hydrogen from the catalyst is transferred, whereas this double bond comes and attacks the rhodium to form this one. And in the next step, the other hydrogen gets transferred to this carbon with a bond breakage between rhodium and carbon to form the corresponding alkane, and this is bis triphenyl phosphine rhodium chloride. Coming to the synthesis of double bond, which is an ene synthesis. The ene synthesis or ene reaction is also called as hydroallyl addition reaction. Olefins with allylic hydrogens add to double bonds with a certain similarity to Diels-Alder reaction, which is a cycloaddition reaction. Then this reaction is called as ene reaction. Coming to the first example, which is a perfect Diels-Alder cycloaddition reaction. This is a diene. To be specific, it's a butadiene reacts with a dienophile. That is a 4+2 reaction. We get as cyclohexene. This is the mechanism. This double bond, the pi bond shifts here, which forms an sigma bond. This pi bond shifts here to form a double bond. This pi bond shifts here to form a sigma bond to give an cyclohexene. Whereas coming to the second example, this is a propene. This reacts with an ene, that is dienophile. We get an pentene. Here this is not an diene. This is similar to Diels-Alder reaction. That is, propene have an allylic hydrogen. These three are an allylic hydrogen. That is, this double bond shifts here to form a sigma bond. This double bond shifts to form a double bond with the elimination of hydrogen ion. That is, the carbocation which is formed here, the hydrogen gets transferred to this carbon to form pentene. That is, this is an olefin which is an allylic hydrogen adds to the double bond, which is similar to an Diels-Alder reaction, and hence ene is synthesized here. This is a perfect example for ene reaction. And one more example is here, the same as the previous one. This is an dienophile reacts with an allylic hydrogens. That is, olefins with allylic hydrogen shifts to add to the double bond with a certain similar to Diels-Alder reaction to form an ene here. In the above reaction, only one product is formed. This clearly shows that the reaction is a concerted process, as in case of Diels-Alder reaction. That is, no such carbocation or no such carbene ion is formed here. Coming to the Michael reaction, which is very important reaction. The Michael reaction is the addition reaction of an active methylene compound to an unsaturated carbonyl. This is an carbonyl compounds. Unsaturated carbonyl compounds or enolate in the presence of a mild base is called a Michael addition. This is an alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound reacts with a nucleophile to be specific active methylene compound to give the presence of a mild base to get a corresponding ketone. Coming to the mechanism, the nucleophile attacks, to be specific, it's an active methylene compound, attacks the alpha beta unsaturated ketone. There is a double bond here. This double bond shifts here, and this double bond shifts to form an negative charge on the oxygen. This is a conjugate addition which forms an enolate. This is an enolate, and again this negative charge shifts to form a C double bond O, and this subsequent double bond takes a proton to form a corresponding addition reaction to form a corresponding adduct. Coming to the example, this is an active methylene group reacts with an methyl vinyl ketone. This is a perfect example for alpha beta unsaturated ketone. This is an alpha beta unsaturated ketone in the presence of base to give an ketone. Coming to the mechanism, that is this base abstracts a proton, an acidic proton which is here to form a carbon ion. This attacks this carbon. This double bond shifts here and this to form a negative charge on the oxygen, and in the next step this negative charge shifts to form a carbon oxygen double bond, and this double bond takes up a proton from the workup procedure to form the corresponding adduct which is a ketone. Coming to the examples, is a similar type of the first example. It is a cyclic one, but it is an alpha beta unsaturated ketone reacts with an active methylene group in the presence of a sodium ethoxide, and in the subsequent addition of an acid, that is in the workup procedure, we get the corresponding Michael product, and it is also called as a Michael acceptors, whereas alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds are also called as a Michael acceptors. That is, this accepts a proton from here to form a carbon ion, and this attacks here, and this bond shifts here to form the CO minus, O minus, and again O minus shifts here and the double bond formed which takes up a proton to form the corresponding compound. The mechanism follows exactly as the first one, and this is the same as that of the first one. This is an active methylene compound. To be specific, active methylene compound should have an electron withdrawing groups here. Even here COT is an electron withdrawing group. Cyano group is also an electron withdrawing group. This is an alpha beta unsaturated ketone which is a Michael acceptor. This is a Michael adduct. Coming to the fourth example, this is a cycloketone reacts with an alpha beta unsaturated ketone in the presence of a base. We get a cyclic product, but even it has an alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound, which is this reaction is called a Robinson's ring annihilation. Coming to the mechanism, this ketone, that is the base, abstracts its proton with the formation of an enolate. This is an enolate. Enolate reacts with the saturated ketone, alpha beta unsaturated ketone, which is a Michael addition reaction, and to form a subsequent negative charge on the oxygen. This on isomerization we get the exo double bond. This on aldol condensation we get a cyclized product. This on reacting with base with the subsequent elimination of water. This step is an hydration step to get an corresponding ring compound, cyclized product. This is an application of a Michael addition. That is, Michael addition followed by the aldol condensation is collectively called as a Robinson's ring annihilation. That is a formation of a ring, cyclized ring product from Michael addition and subsequent aldol condensation. Addition to carbon heteroatom multiple bonds. All the metal hydrides are powerful reducing agents. However, they can't be stored or transported because they are Hygroscopic, that is, it absorbs moisture as it absorb moisture from air to form corresponding metal anhydrides. Therefore, these compounds can't be used directly. However, they may be used in the form of lithium aluminum hydride or sodium borohydride, and these compounds are called as hydride transfer agents. Coming to the first one, mechanism of reduction of carbonyl compounds using lithium aluminum hydride. That is, acetone gets reduced to isopropanol in the presence of LAH. Coming to the mechanism, this is the LAH, lithium aluminum hydride. This is negative charge is that is the hydrate gets transferred from the AlH4 to this carbon, that is hydrate attacks this carbon. This double bond comes and attacks the aluminium to form the corresponding aluminium ion. This is counter ion. The counter ion of this is Li plus, that is lithium ion. And again one more hydride ion gets transferred to the one more equivalent of acetone to the corresponding product. This on subsequent addition of subsequent hydride ion is transferred to the other carbon, one more equivalent of acetone to form this aluminium compound, and again this hydride is transferred to the one more equivalent of an acetone to form the corresponding product. This on quenching with water we get an isopropanol, and with the salt aluminium hydroxide, that is OH from the water gets attacked here with the formation of isopropanol to form an isopropanol and aluminium hydroxide. From the mechanism, it is clear that one equivalent of LAH reduces 4 equivalents of carbonyl compounds as that of the sodium borohydride. Now let's see reductions using lithium aluminum hydride as well as sodium borohydride. Reductions of carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid gets reduced to alcohol in the presence of LAH. That is, coming to the example, benzoic acid gets reduced to benzyl alcohol in the presence of LAH. Even benzyl alcohol, this is an phenyl acetic acid gets reduced to the phenyl ethanol in the presence of LAH, whereas this carboxylic acid can't be reduced to alcohol using sodium borohydride. Coming to reduction of ester, ester gets reduced to corresponding alcohol, primary alcohol and secondary alcohol in the presence of an LAH. It's not an primary and secondary. This ester gets reduced to the corresponding alcohols in the presence of an LAH, whereas sodium borohydride can't be used to reduce the ester to alcohol. These are the examples, whereas this ester gets reduced to benzyl alcohol and methanol in the presence of LAH, whereas even this ester gets reduced to the corresponding alcohol, whereas this double bond can't be reduced by LAH. Reduction of cyanides. Cyanides gets reduced to corresponding amine in the presence of LH, whereas sodium borohydride can't reduce the cyanide to the corresponding amine. This is the example. Benzonitrile gets reduced to benzyl amine in the presence of LAH, whereas sodium borohydride can't reduce this benzonitrile to benzyl amine. Coming to the reduction of carbonyl compounds. Carbonyl compounds gets reduced to corresponding alcohol using LiH, as well as even sodium borohydride gets sodium borohydride also used to reduce ketone to corresponding alcohol. Here both can be employed to reduce the carbonyl compound to corresponding alcohol. That is, benzaldehyde can be converted to benzyl alcohol using LiH as well as sodium borohydride. Even cinnamaldehyde gets reduced to corresponding alcohol using sodium borohydride. Addition of organometallic compounds. Those compounds which possesses carbon metal bond are called as organometallic compounds. There are very two important organometallic are studied here, organometallic compounds, that is organolithium and organomagnesium. In organometallic compound, carbon possesses negative charge whereas metal possesses positive charge. This shows there is a reversal of polarity from organic halide to organometallic. That is, in organic halide, halide possesses a negative charge whereas R group possesses positive charge. Whereas in organometallic compound, carbon possesses negative charge and metal possesses positive charge. This reversal of polarity is called Umpolam. Coming to the first one, organolithium. As I told you, this is an organometallic compound. Metal possesses positive charge and this organic group possesses negative charge. Preparation of organolithium. Organic halide reacts with lithium in ether at low temperature to give organolithium with the elimination of, that is, two equivalents of lithium is used with the elimination of LiX salt. Coming to the example, preparation of methyl lithium, that is methyl chloride reacts with two equivalent of lithium in ether to give methyl lithium. Coming to the second example, even aryl lithiums can be synthesized, that is chlorobenzene reacts with lithium in ether at low temperature gives lithium benzene, phenyl lithium. Even tertiary butyl bromide can be converted to tertiary butyl lithium. Addition of organolithium reagents to carbonyl compounds, that is acetone is converted to corresponding alcohol, that is tertiary butanol. That is acetone in the presence of methyl lithium in ether, and in the second step addition of, that is quenching with water, we get and tertiary butanol. Coming to the mechanism, as I said, metal possesses a positive charge whereas this organic group possesses a negative charge. Hence this carbon attacks this carbonyl compound to form, this bond shifts to form an negative charge on the oxygen. This is a salt. This on quenching with water, that is this negative charge takes up a proton from water to form and corresponding tertiary butyl alcohol with the formation of a lithium hydroxide salt which goes into the solution. Coming to the second example, that is pentanone reacts with the same methyl lithium in ether to form an corresponding alcohol. Same as a cyclohexanone reacts with the phenyl lithium, whereas phenyl lithium possesses a positive charge whereas this phenyl possesses a negative charge which attacks here the formation of a negative charge on the oxygen. This takes up a proton from the water to form an corresponding alcohol. Addition of organolithium reagents to alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds. This is an alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds, which is also known as Michael acceptor. This reacts with organolithium compound, that is a methyl lithium in ether, with the subsequent quenching with water to form the corresponding alcohol. Coming to the mechanism, there is the same mechanism as before. That is, this methyl attacks here with this bond shifts here to form an O negative, is a salt. This on quenching with water to form a corresponding alcohol. It is also same as a first example. It is also same as the first example to the, that is, this ketone alpha beta unsaturated ketone gets reduced to the corresponding alcohol. And here you can observe that the addition of organolithium reagents to alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds is 1,2 addition here. That is 1,2 addition here. It does not affect this double bond. Coming to the next organometallic reagent, that is organomagnesium, which is represented as RMgX, which is also known as a Grignard reagent. Preparation of a Grignard reagent starts from the organic halide reacts with magnesium in ether to form RMgX. For example, methyl iodide reacts with magnesium in ether to form methyl magnesium iodide. That is the second example. Even aromatic rings are synthesized. Aryl magnesium halides are also synthesized. That is, chlorobenzene reacts with magnesium to form an aryl magnesium chloride. Coming to the applications, addition of organomagnesium, that is addition of Grignard reagents to carbonyl compounds. Here, as the same as the organolithium, this carbon possesses a negative charge and this metal possesses a positive charge. Therefore, acetone gets converted to the corresponding alcohol, which is tertiary butanol. Coming to the mechanism, the negative charge on carbon attacks this carbonyl carbon with the formation of a negative ion, a negative charge on the oxygen. With a subsequent quenching with water, we get an tertiary butanol with the formation of magnesium hydroxide iodide salt, which goes into the solution. And coming to the second example, which is the same as the first one, that is, here this carbon possesses a negative charge and metal possesses a positive charge. Therefore, this negative charge, this carbon comes and attacks here with the formation of a negative charge, and with the subsequent quenching with water, we get this compound. Whereas here, coming to the third one, this carbon possesses a negative charge, whereas this comes and attacks this carbonyl carbon with the formation of a negative charge on oxygen, which takes a proton in the next step, that is quenching with water, we get the corresponding compound. Addition of organomagnesium reagents, that is Grignard reagent, to alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds. As I said, this is the alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound, which is a Michael acceptor. It reacts with Grignard reagent in ether to get the corresponding product, which is a ketone. Coming to the mechanism, here organomagnesium reagents goes through 1,4 addition, whereas in the organolithium it goes through 1,2 addition. Here, as I said, this carbon possesses a negative charge, attacks this carbon with the shift of this carbon, this pi bond to here, and this double bond shifts to form a negative charge on oxygen to form a corresponding magnesium iodide salt. This on quenching with water, we get the corresponding alcohol. This is a ketoenol tautomerization, we get a corresponding ketone. Coming to the second example, which is similar to the first one, that is phenyl, which possesses a negative charge, attacks here, and this bond shifts here, and this bond to form a negative charge on oxygen, which takes up a proton from water to form a corresponding ketone. Conversion of aldehydes to nitriles, which is also called as a functional group transformation, interconversion. That is, aldehyde is converted to nitrate. Here aldehyde reacts with hydroxylamine hydrochloride to form a corresponding oxime. This on treatment with dehydrating agent, we get an nitrite. That is, aldehydes can be converted to nitriles in one step by treatment with hydroxylamine hydrochloride and a wide variety of dehydrating agent like HCl, formic acid, polyphosphoric acid to form nitriles. Coming to the first example, benzaldehyde on reacting with hydroxylamine hydrochloride, water is eliminated to form an intermediate oxime. This on treatment with dehydrating agents such as formic acid or concentrated HCl, we get an benzonitride. That is, one group is converted to a nitrate group. To be specific, aldehyde is converted to a nitrile group. Coming to the general mechanism, this lone pair on nitrogen, this is an hydroxylamine hydrochloride, the hydroxylamine in solution, the hydrochloride gets reduced to hydroxylamine. The lone pairs on nitrogen attacks this carbonyl carbon to form an O negative. That is, this negative charge on oxygen takes a proton, which is a 1,3 proton shift, to neutralize this positive charge on a nitrogen to form the corresponding product. This on acidification, OH is converted to OH2 plus, and this compound loses a proton to form a double bond here with the elimination of a water molecule to form the corresponding oxime. This on acidification, that is, lone pairs on oxygen takes this proton to form an OH2 plus, and again this hydrogen loses to form a triple bond with the elimination of a water molecule to form a corresponding nitrate. Hydrolysis, coming to the next, hydrolysis of nitriles. That is, nitriles can be hydrolyzed to corresponding acid. Nitriles on hydrolysis gives amides, which on further hydrolysis with second equivalent of water gives carboxylic acid and ammonia. Coming to the example, this acetonitrile on reacting with water, that is, it is catalyzed by either acid or base, we get the corresponding acetamide, which on reacting with the second equivalent of water, that is hydrolyzing with second equivalent of water, we get an acetic acid plus ammonia. Coming to the general mechanism, this nitrile reacts with water, that is this double bond, this OH, that is in water splits as H plus and OH minus. This OH minus attacks this carbon, this double bond takes a proton to form this imine. This on isomerization is a tautomerization, we get a corresponding amide. Again this reacts with one more equivalent of water molecule, that is this OH minus attacks here and this double bond takes a proton to form a diol, and again this lone pair on oxygen shifts to form a double bond with the elimination of ammonia molecule to form a corresponding carboxylic acid. Coming to next, addition of amines to isocyanates. This is an isocyanate moiety. This reacts with amine to form a corresponding urea. This is a substituted urea. Coming to general mechanism, lone pairs on nitrogen attacks this carbon with the formation of a negative charge on oxygen. Then this oxygen takes a proton which neutralizes the positive charge on nitrogen. This is a 1,3 proton shift to form the corresponding compound. This on tautomerization we get an substituted urea. Formation of xanthates. Xanthates are formed from the reaction of an alcohol with, this is an carbon disulfide. We get an xanthic acid. Coming to general mechanism, alcohol reacts with carbon disulfide to form an corresponding dithiocarbamate. This is a dithiocarbamate. This on 1,3 proton shift, this negative charge on sulfur takes proton which neutralizes the positive charge on oxygen to form a dithiocarbamic acid. This on tautomerization we get an dithiocarbamic acid, that is the lone pairs on sulfur shifts here and this double bond takes the proton to give this one. This on reacting with NaOH we get a corresponding dithiocarbamate sodium salt which is a xanthate. This is called a xanthate. This is a xanthic acid. Now a methyl xanthates can be easily converted to xanthate esters by treatment with alkyl or aryl halides. That is, a xanthates can be converted to xanthate esters by reacting with alkyl or aryl halides. That is, this negative charge attacks this R group with the elimination of an X halide to form the corresponding xanthate ester. This is a xanthate ester with the elimination of NX salt. To be the perfect example is the dimethyl xanthate. This is an xanthate ester. Wittig reaction. This is also one of the important reaction. This is an olefination of carbonyls using phosphorus ylides. Typically the Z olefin is obtained, that is a cis product is obtained. Carbonyl carbon reacts with the phosphorus ylide. This is a phosphorus ylide to form the corresponding olefin with the elimination of triphenyl phosphoxide. Coming to general mechanism, this triphenyl phosphine reacts with the halide, alkyl halide with the elimination of an X to form the corresponding phosphonium ion which is a SN2 reaction. And again in the second step, base abstract this proton to form a double bond which is a phosphorus ylide. This phosphorus ylide reacts with this reacts with the carbonyl compound which is goes through a 2+2 cycloaddition reaction to form a betaine. This is a betaine structure. You can see it goes through 2+2 cycloaddition reaction. This double bond shifts here to form a phosphonium ion, and this double bond shifts here to form a carbene ion, then this phosphonium ion, and this negative charge shifts attacks here, and this double bond attacks here as I have shown here, which forms a betaine, and this negative charge and this positive charge forms a bond which is a oxophosphetane. And in the next step, the bond between phosphorus and carbon breaks, and the bond between carbon and oxygen breaks to form a corresponding olefin with the elimination of triphenyl phosphoxide. Coming to the next reaction, this is also very important, a Mannich reaction. This is a 3-component aminomethylation from amine aldehyde and a compound with an acidic methylene moiety. That is, it is a three component reaction. This is an amine, this is an aldehyde, this is a compound with an acidic methylene moiety. This is an acidic methylene compound. In the presence of acid to give an amino methylation. This is an amino methylated compound. General mechanism. This is also called as managed base. Coming to general mechanism, this aldehyde gets hydrolyzed. The lone pairs on nitrogen attacks this carbonyl carbon, which forms a corresponding alcohol. This alcohol takes a proton from acid to form a hydronium ion, that is OH2 plus. This lone pairs on nitrogen shifts here with the elimination of water molecule to form the corresponding ene. This is called an Eschen-Mosher's salt if R is equal to methyl group. And in the next step, this active methylene moiety in the presence of acid gets enolized to form this one. This is an enolate. This loses a proton to form a carbon oxygen double bond, and this double bond attacks the Eschen-Mosher salt, which neutralizes the positive charge on the nitrogen to form the corresponding adduct, which is a managed base. This is called a managed base. That is, here amino group is methylated here. The managed reaction can also operate under basic conditions. That is, in the previous scheme, the managed base is operated under acidic. Here, base abstracts its proton to form an enolate. This negative charge shifts here, and this double bond attacks the Eschen-Mosher salt to form a managed base. This is similar to an Michael addition. Coming to the example, this is very important example which is useful for NET. Asymmetric managed reaction. That is, as I told you, this is a three component reaction: aldehyde, amine, and carbonyl compound, amine and aldehyde. These three reacts in the presence of an proline. This is a catalyst, 35 mole percentage of L-proline in DMSO solvent at room temperature. We get a 99% yield, that is 99% of enantiomeric excess. Only one enantiomer we get in excess. Coming to the Stobbe condensation. Condensation of diethyl succinate and its derivatives with carbonyl compounds in the presence of bases. This is a carbonyl compound, condenses with the diethyl succinate. In presence of base, we get the corresponding double bond. Coming to the general mechanism, the base abstracts the acidic proton, which is in diethyl succinate, to form a double bond. This shifts to form a negative charge on oxygen, which is an enolate. This enolate forms a carbon oxygen double bond, and this double bond attacks a carbonyl carbon to form an O negative. With the subsequent aldol condensation and lactonization, we get a corresponding 5-member ring, which is a lactone. And again, with the elimination of an ethoxide molecule, we get the corresponding compound lactone ring. Again, one more equivalent of base is used to abstract the proton to form a ring opening structure. The double bond is inserted here, and again on workup using acid, we get the corresponding olefin. This is a Stobbe condensation. That is a condensation of diethyl succinate and its derivative with carbonyl compounds in the presence of base to form an olefin. This is all about addition reactions. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next class with a different topic.